Chapter 31 of Women of History. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Women of History by Anonymous. Chapter 31. Gaspara Stampa, 1500. Hallam. She was a lady of the Paduan territory, living near the small river Anaso, from which she adopted the poetical name of Anasila. This stream bathed the foot of certain lofty hills from which a distinguished family, the Counts of Colato, took their appellation. The representative of this house, himself a poet as well as a soldier, and, if we believe his fond admirer, endowed with every virtue except constancy, was loved by Gaspara with enthusiastic passion. Unhappily she learned only by sad experience the want of generosity too common to man, and sacrificing not the honor but the pride of her sex by submissive affection, and finally by querulous importunity, she estranged a heart never so susceptible as her own. Her sonnets, which seem arranged nearly in order, begin with the delirium of sanguine love. They are extravagant effusions of admiration, mingled with joy and hope. But soon the sense of Colato's coldness glides in, and overpowers her bliss. After 3 years of expectation of seeing his promise fulfilled, and when he had already caused alarm by his indifference, she was compelled to endure the pangs of absence by his entering the service of France. This does not seem to have been of long continuance, but his letters were infrequent, and her complaints, always vented in a sonnet, became more fretful. He returns, and Anasila exults with tenderness, but still timid in the midst of her joy. But jealousy, not groundless, soon intruded, and we find her doubly miserable. Colato became more harsh, avowed his indifference, forbade her to importune him with her complaints, and in a few months espoused another woman. It is said by the historian of Italian literature that the broken heart of Gaspara sunk very soon under these accumulated sorrows into the grave, and such no doubt is what my readers expect, and at least the gentler of them wish to find. But inexorable truth, to whom I am the sworn vassal, compels me to say that the poems of the lady herself contain unequivocal proofs that she avenged herself better on Colato by falling in love again. We find the acknowledgment of another incipient passion, which speedily comes to maturity, and while declaring that her present flame is much stronger than the last, she dismisses her faithless lover with the handsome compliment that it was her destiny always to fix her affections on a noble object. The name of her second choice does not appear in her poems, nor has anyone hitherto, it would seem, made the very easy discovery of his existence. It is true that she died young, but not of love. The style of Gaspara Stampa is clear, simple, graceful. The Italian critics find something to censure in the versification. In purity of taste, I should incline to set her above Bernardino Rota, though she has less vigor of imagination. Corneano has applied to her the well-known lines of Horace upon Sappho. But the fires of guilt and shame that glow along the strings of the Aeolian lyre ill resemble the pure sorrows of the tender Anasila. Her passion for Colato, ardent and undisguised, was ever virtuous. The sense of gentle birth, though so inferior to his as perhaps to make a proud man fear disparagement, sustained her against dishonorable submission. But not less in elevation of genius than in dignity of character, she is very inferior to Vittoria Colonna, or even to Veronica Gambara, a poetess who, without equaling Vittoria, had much of her nobleness and purity. We pity the Gasparas. We should worship, if we could find them, the Vittorias. End of chapter 31.